My beloved soul, something extraordinary is unfolding, and you were meant to hear this at this exact moment. This is not a coincidence. This is not just another message passing by your ears. On July 7th, a divine alignment has been set into motion, and Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a revelation so powerful that it will shake the way you see yourself forever. You have been walking through life wondering if your presence truly matters, but what if I told you that heaven has been watching you closely, marking every step, every tear, every silent moment you thought no one noticed? There is a reason you feel different. There is a reason you have never fully fit into the patterns of this world. It's because you were never designed to blend in. You were created to shine. And right now, in this very season, your light is not just important, it is essential. There are people around you, some you know and many you will never meet, whose survival, yes, their emotional and spiritual survival, is quietly tied to your existence. Archangel Michael is revealing something urgent. The world is in a moment of deep darkness, and yet, scattered across it are chosen lights, and you are one of them. You may not feel powerful. You may not feel significant. But heaven does not measure your worth by what you see. It measures it by what flows through you. Every time you choose kindness, every time you hold on when everything inside you wants to give up, every time you stand back up after being broken, you are releasing a light that pierces through unseen shadows. Here is the shocking truth. There are moments when your presence alone has stopped someone from falling apart, and you didn't even realize it. A simple word you spoke, a glance, your energy in a room, it shifted something. You thought it was small, but in the spiritual realm, it was a turning point. And this is why July 7th carries such weight. It is not just a date. It is a divine checkpoint. A moment where Archangel Michael is calling you to awaken to who you truly are. Because the enemy of your purpose has worked tirelessly to make you feel invisible, to make you question your value, to convince you that your light is too small to matter. But that is the greatest lie ever placed upon your spirit. You are not here by accident. You are not ordinary. You are positioned. Right now, there are waves of change moving through the world, and your light is acting as a beacon, a signal of hope for those who are lost in their own darkness. Even when you feel tired, even when you feel like giving up, your presence is still speaking, still shining, still reaching places your eyes cannot see. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this before anything else. If you were not here, something vital would be missing from this world. Let that sink in. There is a space that only you can fill, a frequency that only your soul carries, and the time has come for you to recognize it. Because what is about to be revealed next will change everything you thought you knew about your purpose. There is something you must understand now, something deeper than anything you have been told before. Your presence in this world is not random, and it never has been. Before you took your first breath, before anyone spoke your name, there was already a purpose assigned to your soul. And yet, for so long, you have questioned your place here. You have wondered why your journey has felt heavier than others, why your path has been filled with moments that seemed unfair, confusing, and at times unbearable. Archangel Michael is revealing the truth behind this mystery. The reason your life has not been ordinary is because your calling is not ordinary. You were placed exactly where you are, in this exact time, because your light carries a frequency that this world desperately needs right now. Every environment you have been in, every relationship you have experienced, every door that opened and every one that closed, none of it was accidental. It was all positioning. There were moments when you felt overlooked, as if your efforts meant nothing. Times when you gave your energy, your kindness, your love, and received little in return. You may have even asked yourself, why am I here if I feel so unseen? But what you could not see was what was happening beyond the surface. In the spiritual realm, your consistency, your resilience, and your quiet strength were creating ripples that extended far beyond your awareness. And here is something even more powerful. There have been forces working against you precisely because of who you are. The confusion, the self-doubt, the heaviness that sometimes settles over your mind, these were not random feelings. They were attempts to dim your light before you could fully recognize it. Because once you truly see who you are, once you step into the awareness of your purpose, nothing will be able to stop what God is doing through you. Archangel Michael wants you to see this clearly. The battles you faced were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal you. Every challenge you overcame added strength to your spirit. Every time you refused to give up, even when it felt easier to walk away, you were building something unshakable within you. And now, you are standing in a moment where all of that strength is about to be activated in a new way. There is also a reason why you have always felt a pull towards something greater, even if you could not explain it. A sense that you are meant for more, that your life holds meaning beyond the ordinary routines of the world. That feeling is not your imagination. It is a divine signal. It is God calling you to recognize that your presence alone carries purpose. Think about the times when you felt guided to say something kind, to help someone, or to simply be there for another person. Those were not small moments. Those were assignments. And even when you felt like you did not do enough, even when you thought your actions were insignificant, they were exactly what was needed in that moment. You have been placed in specific situations because there are people who can only be reached through you, not through someone else, not through a grand, visible act, but through your unique way of being, your voice, your energy, your presence. This is why your journey has been so personal, so uniquely shaped, because no one else could walk the path that was designed for you. Now, something is shifting. The same presence you once questioned is about to become the very thing that defines your purpose. And as this realization begins to unfold, you will start to see that nothing you went through was wasted. What is being revealed next will open your eyes to the hidden light within you, a light that others have been depending on more than you know. Listen closely, because what is about to be revealed may completely change the way you see yourself forever. There is a light within you that you have only partially recognized, a light that has been quietly working through you even in your lowest moments. You may have thought your strength was fading at times. You may have believed that your energy was too weak to make any real difference. But Archangel Michael is now unveiling a truth that has been hidden in plain sight. Your light has never dimmed, it has only been misunderstood. This light is not something you created on your own. It is something that was placed inside you by God, something sacred, something intentional. And what makes it even more powerful is that it does not depend on your perfection. It shines through your broken moments, your uncertain days, and even your silent struggles. In fact, it is often in those moments that your light becomes the most visible to others. There are people who have crossed your path who felt something shift just by being around you. They may not have had the words to explain it. They may not have even acknowledged it openly. But deep within, your presence brought them a sense of calm, a sense of hope, or even the strength to keep going when they were ready to give up. You were a light in their darkness, even if you never saw the impact. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever felt drawn to help someone without fully understanding why? Have you ever found yourself offering comfort, guidance, or simply being there for someone, even when you were dealing with your own struggles? Those were not coincidences. Those were moments where your light was being activated for a purpose far greater than you realized. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your light is not just for you. It is meant to flow outward, to reach places you cannot see, to touch lives in ways you may never fully understand. There are individuals who are still standing today because of something you did or said, something that seems small to you but meant everything to them. And the most profound part of this truth is that you may never know the full extent of your impact on this side of eternity. But here is where it becomes even more intense. The reason you have sometimes felt drained, the reason you have experienced moments where your energy seemed to disappear, is because your light has been constantly giving. You have been pouring into others, often without even realizing it. And while this is a beautiful and divine gift, it has also made you vulnerable to feeling empty at times. This is why it is so important for you to recognize your own light, not just for the sake of others, but for yourself. When you become aware of what you carry, you begin to protect it, to nurture it, and to allow it to grow even stronger. You stop questioning your worth, and you start understanding your value. Right now, Archangel Michael is asking you to see yourself differently. Not as someone who is trying to find their purpose, but as someone who has been living it all along. Your light is not something you are searching for. It is something you are. And as this realization begins to settle into your spirit, you will start to notice changes. You will feel a deeper sense of clarity. You will begin to trust your instincts more. You will recognize the moments where your presence is needed, and you will step into them with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Because the truth is, your light is not optional in this world. It is necessary. It is part of a greater design, a greater plan that is still unfolding. And the more you embrace it, the more powerful it becomes. Type "I am the light" in the comments if this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 333 has just been released over your life. And as this light continues to grow within you, something deeper is being prepared, a transformation that will show you how every battle you faced was shaping you into exactly who you were meant to become. Right now, if you feel this message stirring something inside your heart, understand that this is not just emotion, this is activation. This is a divine moment calling you to respond. When you choose to sow into this mission, you are not just giving, you are becoming a vessel through which this light reaches souls who are still searching, still waiting for a sign. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being spoken over you right now. As you release your seed, you unlock a flow of blessings that goes beyond what you can see. If you feel led in this moment, step into that calling. Become part of this movement of light. The PayPal donation link is in the description, and you can also use the QR code on the screen to give. This is your moment to act, to align, to move in obedience. As you give, may your life overflow with peace, clarity, and divine favor. May every seed you sow return to you multiplied in ways you never expected. Now move, and let your light do what it was always meant to do. There is a chapter of your life that you have not fully understood yet, a chapter filled with moments that felt heavy, confusing, and at times, deeply isolating. You remember those days when you carried burdens that no one else could see. The nights when your thoughts were loud, but your voice remained silent. The times when you smiled on the outside, yet inside, you were fighting battles that no one knew existed. Those were not ordinary struggles. Those were sacred moments of transformation. Archangel Michael is now revealing that those silent battles were never meant to break you. They were designed to build you into someone far stronger than you ever imagined. Every tear you shed, every moment you felt like giving up but didn't, every time you chose to keep going even when your strength felt gone, those were the moments that shaped your spirit into something resilient, something unshakable. You may have asked yourself many times, why did I have to go through this? It may have felt unfair, even overwhelming. But what you could not see at the time was what those experiences were doing within you. They were refining you. They were removing what could not sustain the level of light you were meant to carry. They were preparing you for a purpose that required depth, compassion, and strength. There is a kind of strength that can only be developed through hardship. It is not loud. It does not seek attention. It is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. And that is the kind of strength you now carry. Because you have been through moments where you had no choice but to rely on something greater than yourself. You have experienced what it feels like to be stretched beyond your comfort, to be pushed into places where you had to grow or remain stuck. Archangel Michael wants you to see that those battles were not punishments. They were preparation. You were being equipped with the ability to understand others on a deeper level. You were being given the capacity to hold space for people who are struggling, to recognize pain that others might overlook, and to offer a presence that feels safe and real. Think about how different you are now compared to who you were before those experiences. You have a wisdom that cannot be taught. You have a sensitivity that allows you to feel what others are going through. You have a resilience that keeps you standing even when life becomes difficult. These are not weaknesses. These are your greatest strengths. There is also something else that those silent battles have given you. They have made your light more authentic. Because your light is not based on perfection or ease. It is rooted in truth. It is grounded in experience. It is shaped by everything you have overcome. And that is why it has the power to reach others in a way that nothing else can. People are drawn to authenticity. They are drawn to those who have walked through darkness and still carry light within them. And that is exactly who you are. You are someone who has seen difficult moments and still chooses to shine. You are someone who understands pain but does not allow it to define you. You are someone who continues to move forward, even when the path is uncertain. Archangel Michael is asking you to stop seeing your past as something that holds you back. Instead, begin to see it as the very foundation that is supporting your purpose. Every challenge you faced has added depth to your spirit. Every obstacle you overcame has strengthened your ability to stand firm. And every moment of doubt you pushed through has made your faith stronger. Now, you are standing in a place where all of that strength is becoming visible. You are beginning to recognize that you are not the same person you once were. You are more aware, more grounded, more aligned with something greater. And this is only the beginning. Because the next revelation will show you something even more profound, how even in the moments when you felt invisible, you were still being used in ways you could not see. There were moments in your life when you felt completely invisible, as if your presence did not matter, as if you were simply existing without making any real impact. You showed up. You gave your energy. You tried your best, yet it often felt like no one truly saw you. No recognition, no acknowledgement, no clear sign that what you were doing had any meaning. And over time, those feelings may have planted quiet doubts within you, making you question whether your presence truly made a difference at all. But Archangel Michael is now revealing something that will completely shift your perspective. In those exact moments when you felt the most unseen, you were actually being used in the most powerful ways. The reason you did not receive visible confirmation is because the impact you were making was happening beyond what your eyes could perceive. God does not always work in ways that are obvious. In fact, some of the most important work happens in silence, in hidden places, in moments that feel ordinary on the surface but carry extraordinary significance in the spiritual realm. And you, without even realizing it, have been a vessel for that kind of work. There were conversations you had where your words stayed with someone long after you forgot them. There were times when your presence brought comfort to someone who was silently struggling. There were moments when simply being there, without saying much at all, created a sense of peace for someone who felt overwhelmed. You may have walked away from those situations thinking they were small or insignificant, but for the other person, those moments were everything. This is how God has been using you. Not always in loud, visible ways, but in quiet, deeply impactful ones. Because not every assignment is meant to be seen. Some are meant to be felt. Some are meant to plant seeds that will grow over time. And some are meant to reach hearts in ways that words alone cannot. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your value is not measured by how much attention you receive. It is not determined by how many people acknowledge you or how often you are praised. Your value is determined by the impact you have, and much of that impact happens in ways you may never fully witness. There is a reason why you have been placed in certain environments, around certain people, at specific moments in time. You were not just there by chance. You were there because your presence carried something that was needed in that exact space. Even when you felt like you did not belong, even when you felt out of place, you were still fulfilling a purpose. And here is something even deeper to consider. Sometimes, God keeps your impact hidden to protect you. Because if you were to see the full extent of what you are doing, it might overwhelm you, or even distract you from staying grounded. So instead, you are given just enough awareness to keep moving forward, while the greater picture continues to unfold behind the scenes. This is why it is so important for you to trust your presence, even when you do not see immediate results. Because the absence of visible proof does not mean the absence of impact. In fact, some of your greatest contributions are happening in ways that are quietly transforming lives. You have been a source of hope in places where hope was fading. You have been a light in moments where darkness felt overwhelming. And you have been a reminder, whether you realized it or not, that goodness still exists in this world. Now, Archangel Michael is calling you to release the need for validation and to embrace the truth of who you are. You are not here to be constantly seen. You are here to make a difference. And you have already been doing that in ways far greater than you imagined. As you begin to accept this, something within you will shift. You will stop questioning your worth based on external responses, and you will start recognizing the quiet power of your presence. You will begin to move with a deeper sense of purpose, knowing that even the smallest moments can carry great significance. Because the truth is, you have never been invisible. You have simply been operating in a dimension where your impact is deeper than what can be easily seen. And as this understanding settles into your spirit, the next revelation will take you even further, showing you how your presence carries an energy that changes everything around you, even without a single word being spoken. There is a dimension of your existence that you may not have fully understood yet, something that goes beyond your words, beyond your actions, and even beyond what you consciously try to do. It is the energy you carry. It is the presence you bring into every space you enter. And whether you realize it or not, this unseen force has been shaping the environments around you in powerful and undeniable ways. Archangel Michael is now drawing your attention to this truth. You do not need to speak loudly to make an impact. You do not need to constantly prove your worth through visible effort. There is something within you that works in silence, something that moves through you effortlessly, something that shifts atmospheres simply because you are there. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the mood change, even if no one said anything? Or have you ever noticed how certain people seem calmer, more open, or more at ease when you are around? These are not coincidences. These are reflections of the energy you carry. Your presence has the ability to bring peace where there is tension, clarity where there is confusion, and light where there is heaviness. This is not something that can be easily explained through logic alone. It is spiritual. It is a flow that comes from being aligned, even in ways you may not always be aware of. And the more you begin to understand this, the more you will realize that your influence goes far beyond what you can physically see. There have been moments when you did not say much, when you simply existed in a space, yet something shifted. Someone felt heard without you speaking. Someone felt comforted without you offering advice. Someone felt stronger just because you were there. This is the power of your presence. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize that this ability is part of your divine design. You were created to carry a certain frequency, a certain calmness, a certain depth that can't be replicated by anyone else. It is unique to you. And this is why your presence is so valuable in a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming. However, there is also a responsibility that comes with this. Because when you carry such energy, you can also feel the weight of the environments you are in. You may absorb emotions, pick up on unspoken tensions, or feel drained after being around certain people or situations. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you are sensitive to the energy around you. This is why it is important for you to be mindful of where you place yourself and who you allow into your space. Not everyone will understand your nature, and not every environment will support your energy. But when you are aligned with the right spaces and the right people, your presence becomes even more powerful. There is also something else you must remember. You do not need to force your light. You do not need to try to change people or fix every situation. Your role is not to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Your role is simply to be who you are, fully and authentically. Because in doing so, you naturally create shifts that are meaningful and lasting. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust this process. Trust that your presence is enough. Trust that even in moments when you feel quiet or unsure, something is still happening through you. You are still influencing, still uplifting, still bringing something valuable into the world. As you begin to embrace this truth, you will notice a shift within yourself. You will feel less pressure to prove yourself and more confidence in simply being. You will start to recognize the subtle ways in which your presence makes a difference, and you will begin to move through life with a deeper sense of purpose. Because the truth is, your energy is not random. It is intentional. It is part of a greater design that is unfolding in ways you are only beginning to understand. And as this awareness continues to grow, the next revelation will take you even deeper, showing you just how many lives you have already touched, even without knowing it, and how your presence has been a turning point for others in ways that will leave you in awe. There is something deeply moving that you are about to understand, something that may leave you in quiet disbelief as it settles into your heart. You have already changed lives, not in a distant, abstract way, but in real, tangible moments that carried more weight than you ever realized. You may have thought you were just passing through certain situations, just having ordinary interactions, just being yourself without much impact. But the truth is far more powerful than that. Archangel Michael is revealing that there are people whose paths shifted because of you. There are individuals who were standing on the edge of giving up, silently battling thoughts and emotions they could not share, and in that exact moment, your presence entered their world. You may not have known what they were going through. You may not have seen the depth of their struggle, but something about you reached them. It could have been something as simple as a conversation, a few words that seemed casual to you but carried a deeper meaning for them. It could have been your kindness at a time when they expected rejection. It could have been your patience, your understanding, or even just the way you listened without judgment. In those moments, You became a lifeline without even knowing it. There are also those who may have never told you what you meant to them. They carried your impact quietly, holding onto it in their own private way. You might never hear their story. You might never receive a thank you. But that does not change the fact that you were part of their turning point. Think about how many times you have felt like your efforts were not enough. How many times you questioned whether anything you did truly mattered. Now imagine this. While you were questioning your worth, someone else was holding onto the strength they found through you. While you were doubting your impact, someone else was moving forward because of something you gave, knowingly or unknowingly. Archangel Michael wants you to see the magnitude of this truth. You are not just existing. You are influencing. You are not just passing through life. You are shaping it, one moment at a time, in ways that go far beyond what you can measure. There are people who found hope because you did not give up on yourself. There are people who felt seen because you took a moment to acknowledge them. There are people who chose to keep going because your presence reminded them that there is still light in this world. This is the effect of your existence. And here is something even more profound. The impact you have made is not limited to the past. It is continuing right now. Every day, in ways both small and significant, you are still touching lives. You are still creating moments that matter. You are still being a source of something that others need. But there is also a reason why you were not fully aware of this until now. Because if you had seen the full extent of your influence too early, it might have overwhelmed you. It might have placed a pressure on you that was not meant for that stage of your journey. So instead, you were allowed to grow, to develop your strength, to become more grounded in who you are. Now you are ready to see it differently. Not from a place of doubt, but from a place of understanding. Not from a place of questioning, but from a place of quiet confidence. Archangel Michael is asking you to honor this truth. To stop minimizing your presence. To stop believing that what you do is too small to matter. Because the evidence is already there, even if you cannot see all of it. You have already been part of someone's healing. You have already been part of someone's breakthrough. You have already been a reason why someone chose to stay, to try again, to believe that things could get better. And as this realization begins to settle within you, something will shift. You will start to carry yourself differently. You will begin to understand that your life is not just about your own journey, but also about the countless lives you touch along the way. Because the truth is, you have already been a light in this world. And what is coming next will reveal why that light has faced resistance and why it has been targeted in ways you are only beginning to understand. There is a reason why your journey has not been easy. There is a reason why, despite your good heart, your intentions, and your quiet strength, you have still faced waves of doubt, moments of heaviness, and seasons where everything felt harder than it should have been. You may have wondered why challenges seemed to follow you, why certain situations drained you more than others, or why you often felt like you were pushing against something unseen. Archangel Michael is now revealing the deeper truth behind this pattern. It is not because you are weak. It is not because you are unlucky. It is because your light carries power, and anything that carries power will face resistance. Darkness does not resist what is already dark. It resists light. It resists anything that has the ability to expose it, to weaken it, to transform it. And your presence, your energy, your very existence does exactly that. This is why there have been moments when you felt targeted, even if you could not explain it. Moments when your mind felt clouded with doubt, when your confidence seemed to disappear, when your energy dropped without a clear reason. These were not random experiences. They were attempts to distract you, to discourage you, and most importantly, to make you forget who you are. Because the moment you fully step into the awareness of your light, the moment you stop questioning your worth and start embracing your purpose, everything begins to change. Think about the times when you were on the verge of growth, when you were about to take a step forward, when you felt a sense of clarity or direction. Often, those were the moments when something unexpected came in to shake you, to pull you back, to make you second-guess yourself. That is not coincidence. That is resistance responding to your progress. Archangel Michael wants you to see this not as something to fear, but as confirmation. Confirmation that your light is real. Confirmation that your presence matters. Confirmation that what you carry has the power to make a difference. But here is where your awareness becomes your strength. Once you recognize that this resistance exists, it loses its ability to control you, because you begin to see through it. You begin to understand that those thoughts of doubt are not your truth. You begin to realize that those moments of heaviness are temporary and do not define you. You also begin to take your power back. Instead of shrinking, you stand firmer. Instead of questioning yourself, you remind yourself of what you have already overcome. Instead of dimming your light, you allow it to shine even brighter. There is something else you must understand. The resistance you have faced has also been shaping you. It hath been strengthening your ability to remain steady, to stay grounded, to keep moving forward even when things feel uncertain. It hath been preparing you to carry your light with greater awareness and greater resilience. Archangel Michael is guiding you now to release any fear connected to these experiences. You are not under attack in the way you may have imagined. You are being refined. You are being made stronger. You are being aligned with a level of purpose that requires you to stand firm in who you are. And as you begin to embrace this truth, you will notice something powerful. The same things that once shook you will begin to lose their effect. The same doubts that once held you back will begin to fade. The same challenges that once felt overwhelming will start to feel manageable, because you are no longer seeing them from a place of confusion. You are seeing them from a place of understanding. Type "My light cannot be dimmed" in the comments if you feel this truth rising within you. Blessing code 888 is now being released over your spirit, strengthening your clarity and your courage. And as you stand in this awareness, something sacred is unfolding. A deeper alignment, a clearer vision, a stronger connection to your purpose. This is not the time to hold back. This is the time to step forward. Right now, as this message reaches you, there is a divine invitation being placed before you. When you choose to give, you are not just offering support, you are sowing light into places where darkness hath been holding on for too long. You become part of a greater flow, a river that carries hope, truth, and awakening to souls who are still searching. God is speaking this promise over you. As you sow, so shall you reap, and your harvest will overflow beyond your expectation. This is a living word, active in this very moment. Your seed becomes a key that unlocks doors not only for others, but for your own life as well. If your spirit is stirred right now, act without hesitation. The PayPal donation link is in the description, and the QR code is right before you. Step into alignment with this moment. As you give, may your life be filled with divine protection, unshakable peace, and multiplied blessings. May every seed you release return to you in abundance, opening path you never imagined. Move now, and let your obedience become part of something eternal. There is something profound happening in your life right now, something that you may not have fully recognized yet. You have been waiting for a sign, waiting for clarity, waiting for a moment where everything suddenly makes sense and your purpose becomes obvious. But Archangel Michael is now revealing a truth that shifts everything you thought you were waiting for. You are not preparing for your purpose, you are already living it. This may feel surprising at first. You might think your purpose should look bigger, more visible, more defined. You might expect it to come with a clear title, a clear direction, or a moment of undeniable confirmation. But your divine assignment does not always appear in grand, dramatic ways. In fact, most of the time, it is woven into the very fabric of your everyday life. Every conversation you have, every choice you make, every moment where you show up with intention, these are all part of your assignment. It is not something separate from your life. It is your life. And the more you begin to understand this, the more you will see how everything you have experienced has been leading you to this exact point. Archangel Michael wants you to release the idea that your purpose is something distant or unreachable. It is not something you have to chase. It is something you step into by being fully present, by being aware, and by trusting that what you carry is already enough. Think about the way you naturally respond to others, the way you offer support, the way you listen, the way you bring a sense of calm or understanding into situations. These are not random traits. These are expressions of your assignment. They are the ways in which your purpose flows through you effortlessly. There are also moments when you feel guided to do something, even if it does not fully make sense at the time. Why nutty to reach out to someone, to say something, to take a small step in a certain direction. These moments are not random impulses. They are divine instructions, subtle yet powerful, guiding you along your path. You do not need to have everything figured out to be aligned with your purpose. In fact, your willingness to move forward without complete clarity is part of what keeps you aligned. It shows trust. It shows faith. It shows that you are open to being guided. Archangel Michael is reminding you that your assignment is not about perfection. It is not about getting everything right all the time. It is about showing up. It is about being willing to use what you have, where you are, in the moment you are given. There are people who need exactly what you carry right now, not a future version of you, not a more perfect version of you, but you as you are. Your experiences, your growth, your understanding, your presence, all of it is already enough to make a difference. And here is something even more important. When you begin to fully accept that you are already living your purpose, you stop holding yourself back. You stop waiting for the right time or the right conditions. You begin to move with confidence, knowing that every step you take has meaning. This does not mean your journey is complete. There is still growth ahead. There are still new levels of understanding, new opportunities, and new experiences that will continue to shape you. But you are not starting from zero. You are building on a foundation that has already been established. Archangel Michael is calling you now to step deeper into this awareness, to recognize that your life is not on pause. It is active. It is unfolded. It is already aligned with something greater than you can fully see. As you embrace this truth, you will begin to notice a shift in how you move through your days. You will feel more intentional, more connected, more aware of the significance of even the smallest moments, because you will understand that nothing is wasted. Nothing is without purpose. You are not waiting to be used by God. You are being used right now. And as this realization takes root within you, the next revelation will guide you even further, showing you how to strengthen and protect this light you carry, so that it continues to grow without being drained or diminished by the world around you. There is a sacred responsibility that comes with carrying the kind of light you have within you. It is not just about shining for others. It is also about protecting that light, nurturing it, and allowing it to grow without being diminished by the pressures and energies around you. Because the truth is, not everything in this world is aligned with your peace, and not every environment will support the kind of presence you bring. Archangel Michael is now guiding you into a deeper level of awareness, one where you begin to understand how to strengthen and protect your light so that it continues to shine without exhaustion or confusion. This is not about building walls or isolating yourself. It is about becoming intentional with your energy, your time, and your focus. One of the first things you must recognize is that your energy is valuable. It is not something to be given away freely without awareness. There have been moments in your life where you poured into others, gave your time, your attention, your care, and walked away feeling drained. Not because you did something wrong, but because you were giving without protecting your own balance. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that it is not selfish to take care of your energy. It is necessary. Because when your light is strong, you are able to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. You are able to show up fully without losing yourself in the process. This means learning to recognize when something is not aligned with you. When a conversation begins to pull you into negativity. When a situation feels heavy in a way that lingers. When certain people consistently leave you feeling unsettled or exhausted. These are signals, not things to ignore. They are guiding you to become more aware of where your energy flows. Protecting your light also means creating space for renewal. Just as you give to others, you must also allow yourself to receive. Moments of stillness, moments of reflection, moments where you step away from noise and reconnect with yourself. These are not luxuries. They are essential to maintaining your strength. Archangel Michael is encouraging you to develop a rhythm that supports your spirit. A rhythm where you are not constantly pouring out without taking time to refill. This could be as simple as spending quiet moments in prayer, being present with your thoughts, or allowing yourself to rest without guilt. These small actions create a foundation that keeps your light steady. There is also power in setting boundaries. This is something many people struggle with, especially those who naturally give and care deeply. But boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about creating clarity. They allow you to engage with others in a way that is healthy, balanced, and sustainable. When you begin to set boundaries, you may notice that not everyone responds the same way. Some will understand and respect it. Others may not. But this is part of the process. Because protecting your light means being willing to choose alignment over approval. Archangel Michael wants you to release any fear associated with this. You are not meant to carry everything for everyone. You are not meant to fix every problem or absorb every emotion. Your role is to bring light, not to lose yourself in the darkness of others. There is another layer to this as well. Protecting your light is not just about external influences. It is also about your internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself, the thoughts you allow to stay, the beliefs you hold about your worth, all of these shape the strength of your light. When you begin to notice self-doubt or negative patterns, you have the power to shift them. Not by forcing positivity, but by gently reminding yourself of the truth. That you are here for a reason. That your presence matters. That your light is real and valuable. As you begin to practice these things, you will feel a shift. Your energy will feel more stable. Your mind will feel clear. Your presence will feel stronger. Not because you are trying harder, but because you are aligned. And as your light becomes more grounded and protected, something beautiful begins to happen. It grows. It expands. It reaches further without effort. Because a protected light does not flicker easily. It stands steady. And what is about to be revealed next will show you just how far this light can reach into the future, into lives you have not yet touched, into a legacy that is still unfolding. There is a future being shaped right now by your presence, a future that extends far beyond what you can currently see or imagine. You may think your impact is limited to the present moment, to the people directly around you, to the situations you are currently facing. But Archangel Michael is revealing something far greater. Your light is not only affecting today, it is creating ripples that will reach into tomorrow, into lives and moments that have not yet unfolded. Every time you choose to act with kindness, every time you stand in truth, every time you hold on to your light even when it feels difficult, you are planting something. And these seeds do not remain where they are planted. They grow. They expand. They reach beyond your immediate awareness and begin to influence things in ways you may never fully witness. Think about how one moment can change the direction of a person's life. A single conversation, a single act of understanding, a single moment of encouragement can stay with someone for years. Now consider this. You have already created many of those moments, and you will continue to create more. The people you influence today will carry that influence into their own lives, into their own relationships, into their own decisions. In this way, your presence becomes part of a chain of transformation that continues to grow. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your life is not isolated. It is connected. Connected to people, to moments, to outcomes that extend far beyond your immediate experience. And because of this, the way you choose to show up matters more than you realize. There's also something else unfolding. As you continue to grow in awareness, as you become more aligned with your purpose, your influence will naturally expand. You will find yourself in new situations, meeting new people, stepping into spaces that allow your light to reach even further. This is not something you need to force. It will happen as a natural result of your alignment. You may begin to notice that people are drawn to you in new ways, that opportunities arise that allow you to express yourself more fully, that your voice, your presence, your actions begin to carry more weight. This is not by accident. This is the result of the work that has already been happening within you. Archangel Michael is preparing you for this expansion, because with greater reach comes greater responsibility, not in a way that creates pressure, but in a way that invites you to remain grounded in who you are, to continue nurturing your light, to continue protecting your energy, to continue moving with intention. The future impact of your presence is not about becoming someone different. It is about becoming more of who you already are. It is about allowing your true self to be seen, to be felt, to be expressed without fear or hesitation. There is also a legacy being formed through your actions, not necessarily a legacy in the traditional sense of something grand or widely recognized, but a legacy in the hearts and lives of those you touch. The way you make people feel, the way you show up, the way you carry your light, these are the things that leave lasting impressions. Long after certain moments have passed, long after certain interactions are forgotten on the surface, the feeling you created in others remains. That is your imprint. That is your legacy. Archangel Michael wants you to embrace this understanding, not as something overwhelming, but as something empowering. You do not need to have all the answers about the future. You do not need to see the full picture. All you need to do is continue showing up with the awareness that your presence matters. Because it does. And as you continue on this path, something even more beautiful begins to unfold. A sense of peace, a sense of clarity, a sense of knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to do. The next and final revelation will bring this all together, offering you a deep sense of comfort, confirmation, and reassurance that you are aligned, supported, and never alone on this journey. Beloved soul, as this message gently comes to its close, there is something peaceful, something deeply reassuring that Archangel Michael wants you to carry with you. After everything you have heard, after every realization that has unfolded within your heart, this is the truth that now settles over your spirit like a calm and steady light. You are exactly where you need to be. There is no mistake in your timing. There is no error in your journey. Even the moments that felt uncertain, even the paths that seemed unclear, have all been guiding you toward this awareness. You were never lost. You were always being led, even in ways you could not fully understand at the time. Take a moment now and reflect on everything you have walked through. The struggles that once felt overwhelming, the questions that once had no answers, the moments when you doubted yourself, when you felt unseen, when you wondered if your presence truly mattered. And yet, here you are, still standing, still growing, still carrying a light that has not been extinguished. That is not weakness. That is strength in its purest form. Archangel Michael is surrounding you now with a sense of calm, reminding you that you do not have to strive so hard to prove your worth. You do not have to search endlessly for validation. You do not have to force your path to unfold. Everything that is meant for you will come in its right time, in its right way, as long as you remain aligned with the truth of who you are. Your presence is not only important, it is sacred. You are part of a greater design, a greater story that is still being written. And every day you continue to show up, every day you choose to carry your light, you are fulfilling something meaningful, something eternal. There will still be moments ahead where you may feel unsure. There will still be challenges, moments of growth, moments where you are stretched into new understanding. But you will not face them the same way you did before. Because now, you know something you did not fully know before. You know that your light matters. You know that your presence carries purpose. You know that you are not alone. And most importantly, you know that God is working through you, even in the quietest moments. Allow that truth to bring you peace. Allow it to ground you. Allow it to remind you that you do not have to become someone else to fulfill your purpose. You simply have to be who you are, fully and honestly. Archangel Michael is asking you to walk forward from this moment with confidence, not loud or forceful confidence, but a quiet, steady knowing. A knowing that you are guided, that you are supported, that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Let your heart rest in that. Type "I trust my path" in the comments if you feel this peace settling within you. Blessing code 1212 is now being released, bringing alignment, clarity, and divine assurance into your life. And as this message completes its journey through your spirit, understand this: what you have received is not just for you. It is meant to flow through you, to reach others who are still searching, still hoping, still waiting for a sign that they matter too. Right now, you have the opportunity to become part of that flow. When you give, you are not just offering support, you are releasing light into places where darkness hath been holding hearts captive. You become a vessel, a channel through which hope travels, through which healing begins. God is speaking directly to you in this moment. Bring your seed into the storehouse and watch as I open the windows of heaven over your life. This is not distant scripture. This is a living invitation, active right now. If you feel the stirring in your spirit, respond without delay. The PayPal donation link is in the description, and the QR code is before you. This is your moment to act in faith, to sow into something greater than yourself. As you give, may your life be filled with divine overflow. May doors open where there were none. May peace settle where there was confusion. and may every seed you release return to you multiplied beyond your expectations. Step into this moment, obey the call, and let your light continue to shine exactly as it was always meant to.